All right, hello everybody. Welcome back. I hope you're all doing well. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out as always. So another short form video for you here. We're going to take a look and talk through an Aurora game that I played a little while ago. So this is one that I recorded. As always, I'm going to talk through my lines, see if there's anywhere we could improve, see if there's lines or hands that I would play differently this time around. But yeah, as mentioned, we're into an Aurora this time around. So Aurora is about to get a big boost by the time this video posts, maybe already has a big boost. So this was recorded prior to the Armory deck releasing, by the way, so it doesn't have all the juice quite yet. But Aurora is still a scary hero, and it's only getting scarier here with this new Armory deck that is kind of infusing some real power into the deck. So it'll be really interesting to see what happens to Aurora once that deck drops again very shortly. So I love this hand to start. Deathly Whale is a great target on turn 0. Love to sit on a Deathly Whale in Banish on turn 0. Oof. Well, Warmonger's Diplomacy is not the end of the world here. We're going to choose Peace because we're just going to set up on our first turn anyways. I'm going to banish the whale, send out 3, or turn the 1 rune chant into 3 with Dirge, and then sit on this reduced to rune chant. So I actually really don't, I'd love to see them get rid of that on turn 0, because this is probably what we're going to do anyways. I don't think we would have attacked, so a bit of a wasted Warmongers on their side, which is fine. With this hand, I just want to keep one, either the Wraith or the Destruction. Probably the Wraith or even the Eulogy. So I'm probably willing to give up. So they're shooting out the Lightning Valley right away, telling us that we need to respect this rune chant, which allows us to kind of play around this. So I wonder if I just give the Widespread Destruction, like AB pitching the Widespread Destruction. That makes sense to me. And then with the Starfall, we can give Carapace on 2. Like, it should be fairly easy to keep them off the draw with Channel. They were pretty face up with it. They did pitch a red as well, which makes it quite awkward for them. This is for 5. So I'm sort of tempted. I really want to keep this Malefic Incantation to be greedy. I wonder if we give up Eulogy Face Purg. Like, it might be just fine. I kind of did forget that we have the Reduced to Rune Chant. Creepers Reduce is a little awkward. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see what we decide to do here. Thinking about it, because this is a tough decision for sure. I don't know what's correct. I don't know what I would do. And if I was back in these shoes, I might just give Eulogy Face Purg, because they might be coming with another 4. It looks like I might be favoring the Eulogy as a banish target. So it looks like I'm looking to get rid of this Phantom Wraith, and the Malefic. Okay. So I'm looking to play the Face Purg here to strip this card from hand and draw us a card. I don't hate that. Yeah. I wonder if I'd play that the same. Yeah, I guess if I'm giving up Wraith and Purg, like Eulogy Purg, I like this. Because now we don't need to worry about this. I do still have the Reduced to Rune Chant in Banish, which is a bit awkward, but yeah, I like this. And we got a big payoff. I mean, Snatch we could have covered up. Even if we just went Face Purg, Wraith, they would have followed up with Snatch. We have a response with Reduced to Rune Chant. So this just kind of guarantees that we don't need to worry about it. So yeah, I don't hate our decisions there. I think there were other decisions that could have been made. But Face Purg is always a good choice. So I do get to keep the Channel Lightning Valley. We banish the other Deathly Whale, and we're going to present the red for 4 and 6. Hope they take at least 1 damage, which they likely will. They already have. And so we'll end the turn on 1 Rune Chant, which allows us to continue to sit on this Reduced to Rune Chant, which will get full value since it is free. They're on Channel Lightning Valley, so they're also not likely to want to block here since they want to keep as many cards in hand. So we drew into a bit of an awkward one. I don't mind Cull here. So call, and, you know, I don't mind throwing Eloquent Eulogies in Banish. That's fine. So calling them with an Eloquent Eulogy. Ooh, Burn Up Shock is tough here since we don't have any blues. So I think we just have to... We're actually going to pitch for this. That's interesting. I would... Yeah, I don't know. It looks like we're pitching one of the Eloquent Eulogies to prevent the one, try and keep them off the draw, but it's going to be hard to keep them off the draw here. We do have a couple opportunities to get over breakpoints here with Carapace and Creepers. This 2, I guess we give up Banshee. We're giving them the call. So if I give up Banshee instead, like we only have 1 rune chant, 2 with reduce. So we do want to banish a thing. So I can't really do it all here on this turn. Best case scenario is they have a bit of an awkward hand. If I give call here and they present a 4 attack, then we can go like Phantom Banshee, Carapace and call it a day. Looks like I took that back. We're keeping our options open and just giving them Banshee. Because I could call, but then we don't do anything on our turn. Like if we want to have a turn here, we have to play out the reduce to rune chant. So we can still cover up 2 4 blocks here. So we're pitching to make an embodiment. So here's our first 4 attack. So we get to just reduce to rune chant this one. So yeah, I like how we played this out, actually. The Banshee was the right call, because we can still cover up another 4. They're going to somersault this back, which is fine. So we'll play their other Gone and Flash. We're also keeping them off burn up, which is really important here. And we still get to have a turn. So reduce is great here. They're going to present the other Gone in a Flash. We're just going to give them probably Eloquent Eulogy or Call. I don't know which one's more valuable here. I think if I had to guess, this was like early days on Call. I was still somewhat uncomfortable on Call. So I feel like I'm probably going to block with Call, but I feel like that might be incorrect. I am blocking with Call. So all the more reason to get comfortable with these cards. And it took me a while, honestly. Call is a complex card to know when to play it, to know how to value it. But I think Call would have been a better banish choice on our next turn, even though Eloquent Eulogy just represents raw damage. Call would have been a better choice, I think, if I were to play it again. Because then if they don't respect the Deathly Wail, we can call them, and Call allows us to take a damage and end on 2 rune chance. So I think Call was the choice to keep instead of blocking. I should have blocked with the Eloquent Eulogy. So note to self, but we are getting more comfortable on Call. But Vynnset's it's a complex hero, and even somebody who has like thousands of reps on Vynnset, when they introduce new pieces, it kind of just adds complexity always, and it adds options. I kind of think of it as like a tree, and Flesh and Blood is a very simple game at face value, but it's so deep and it's so complex when you get into it, and each of your decisions can branch off into multiple like realms of possibility. So yeah, I think Call was the choice here, especially now considering they took damage. We could have called one of these 3 cards out of their hand, take a damage, and end on 2 chance instead. I mean, I don't hate floating this Eloquent Eulogy to another turn, but with this hand, it's not really serving us much. Here, we probably just want to banish Phantom Banshee, play out the Dirge. I don't even know if we need the Machinations, so we're going to see what they present. This is just vanilla damage, but I have 2 Machinations, so I'll probably be happy to give up one of the Machinations here to soak up some damage. They revealed a Gone and Flash off the top. So we're choosing to just soak this damage, which is interesting. I want to make sure I get some block value from these cards. So here we go. We give up one of our Machinations here, take 1. It's just vanilla damage. We're not too worried about it. Here's a Filtering Charge. Honestly, I can give up the other Machinations. It's not really doing much in this hand, but I might get greedy here and just take it. We will see. It is just 4, so we're taking damage down to 28. Here we're going to banish the Phantom Banshee, play out the Dirge. I feel like I should sit on this Machinations, because I don't think Machinations does very... Yeah, okay, we're going to sit on it. That's good. So 4 and 7, presenting 11. We're going to Arsenal this Machination so that we can try and go 2 wide. when we have like Malefics in play or something like that. Still floating this Eloquent Eulogy to a future turn. They're blocking 6, somersaulting those cards back to the somersault is such a crazy card, honestly. So they get 6 block value and they only lose 1 card. So this card blocked for 6 essentially, which is pretty friggin' good. Yeah, Electromagnetic Somersault is pretty busted. So now, a little awkward. We don't end on any rune chance. We draw into a reduced to rune chance. We don't love to see that. So here I'm saying we had a Machinations. Banishing the Delight. They have a Snatch, so we might actually have to... We might have to pay for this reduce because it covers up Snatch so nicely. Otherwise, we'd have to give up like Widespread Annihilation and Creepers. So yeah, we're going to pay for this reduce. It makes us a rune chance so that we can banish the Deathly Delight and send that. Ooh, they drew into an awkward hand though, so they do have to pass the turn. That's good for us. So banish Delight. So now we can go like Shadow Puppetry Delight or Machinations Delight. Either way, yeah. If we go Machinations Delight, like I don't mind sitting on the or swapping the Machinations for the Shadow Puppetry in Arsenal. Shadow Puppetry synergizes really well with Deathly Wail. But here we're just getting the value off of the Deathly Delight. Shadow Puppetry Deathly Delight guarantees us 2 life gain. So that's pretty good as well. Looks like they're wanting us to restart the turn here, which is fine. So Shadow Puppetry, take the damage to Vynnset. I don't know what they're trying to respond to here. We're going to fast forward a minute. Vaporize. Destroy. Oh, yeah, that's pretty good. So they're vaporizing one of our rune chants. We can still come in with Eloquent Eulogy, though. So this is not the end of the world. It does hurt us a little bit. And now we don't really need to take the damage to Vynnset, I guess. That's interesting, though. Vaporize is a really interesting piece in Aurora. It honestly doesn't often disrupt us that much, but it can. It can very much. So this is fine. We take this damage. It's going to nuke one of our rune chants. Yep. So we go down to 1 rune chant. We're not going to pay it now. We're just going to send this Eloquent Eulogy for 1 and 5. Go again. We could follow it up with Flail if we want. There's no harm in doing that. They still have a lot of block on equipment, though. They're letting us hit. They're not respecting it. We don't want to banish Succumb to Temptation. We'll keep that on top. We'll send Flail. Ask them for one of their equipment pieces. I guess they'll probably just give Lightning Greaves. And pass. So we're still at 25. I like our life lead here. And now, what does this hand do? We have a Machinations. So all the more reason why we should have swapped that Machinations out, I think. Shadow Puppetry would have been nicer. I think we have to break Vex and Quill hand here. So for that reason, Hunting Rendition can just be a block 4 in this hand. We don't really need the Rune Chant generation from it. So I think like Machinations, Deathly Wail, Flail is probably the play. So yeah, this is a 4 block in this hand. Channel Lightning Valley, great. So giving it go again, we blocked it out. So good for us. Starfall for 2, we probably give this Wail. Ugh. It's a little awkward. I kind of want to sit on the Succumb to keep it as a threat, but we have to assume that this... I think we got to give up the Deathly Wail, and then we're going to assume we're giving up the Succumb on this next swing. If it's a 4 block, we'll give Succumb and Creepers. Yeah, it's a gone with a flash, which we might have known. So Succumb, Creepers. That's fine. Keep them off that draw. That's the name of the game in Aurora, by the way. You want to keep them off Burn Up. You want to keep them off Lightning Valley. If you're able to do that, you're going to be in good shape. So now Machinations, Wail, Flail is a great line. Flail is a good one. If all we can do is give Deathly Wail go again, ending on Flail, allowing us to take that damage and ending on at least 1 Rune Chant, if not 2 if they decide to take damage, which in this case they have. So we're going to go to 11. I do like this increasing life lead that we have on our opponent. Looks like they're going to take an extra 2, and they've also given us a couple equipment pieces, so if they want to prevent this Flail, they have to give us Crown, which feels pretty good. Otherwise, they're going to go to 8. Yeah, so they're going to give us crown. We're still going to end on 1 rune chant since we took damage and move on with our lives. We're still looking pretty good. They have 4 cards in hand, so... But we've already kept them off 2 of their Channel Lightning Valley turns, so this is going well. Sorry, we do end on 2 rune chants. They took the rune chants early on, so yeah, that's fine. Okay, so let's think about this hand. We're going to banish one of these Widespread Destructions and present the Widespread Destruction. Once again, this Haunting Rendition is just a 4 block in this hand, so we're going to block this out clean. They are going to be okay with that. We're happy to give another 3 here with Widespread Destruction, but they're going to beef this. Oh my god. 2, so this is going to be for 10. Gross. That's a little gross. But either way, we're happy to give one of the Widespread Destructions. We could give up Shadow Puppetry, but I'd be tempted to sort of like just maybe Arsenal the Shadow Puppetry. So we don't really need to play it on this next turn, but that's fine. So we're going to take 7, 8 down to 14. They're equalizing our life a little bit. I don't think we want to play the Shadow Puppetry here. I think we just want to send the Destruction their way. The Destruction... there's no point in giving the Shadow Puppetry. Don't give the Shadow Puppetry. There we go. So 3 and 6. We're not threatening any Arsenal or anything like that, but that's fine. We still want to send the Widespread Destruction because a 3-cost Rune Gate card is just more likely to be or get stuck in the Banish Zone. We're more happy to sit on the Deathly Delight. So they still gave us a couple cards, and they took 3 down to 6. So we're going to keep this life lead as much as possible. Okay, so now this Haunting Rendition needs to make us a rune chant, so we're going to discard it to prevent 2. Make a rune chant. We're going to banish Deathly Delight. We're going to play Malefic Incantation. We can also give up this Machination since we have a Shadow Puppetry in Arsenal. So I think here we just discard the Haunting Rendition. We can fast forward while we think through this. So yeah, discarding the Haunting Rendition, getting 2 damage prevention, taking 2 as they reveal a Snatch off top. Go to 11, make a rune chant. They're coming in for another 4. We can give up Machinations of Dominion here and take 1 down to 10. I think is probably the play, but we decide to get greedy and take 4 for some reason. We don't need this Machinations. Oh. I see. We can go too wide here if we banish the Malefic Incantation instead. Yeah, they're at a lower life total, so that's another line. We can banish Malefic Incantation, and then go Shadow Puppetry Delight, and then pay for this second Delight and gain 4 life. That's pretty good, especially when they're at 6. Yeah, so this is an interesting choice. So we decided to take the damage here. We're going to banish this Malefic Incantation, I have to assume, because there's no other reason that we would have taken that damage. Yeah. So we're banishing the Malefic Incantation. We're choosing to go too wide here and getting full value on Shadow Puppetry. We're going to take the damage to Vynnset, which means we're going to gain 4 life back up to 10 at the end of this turn. And we're going to present 8, 13 damage here when they're at 6 is pretty good. They go to 4. They're going to have to give us 2 cards here or start giving us some equipment. They have to start respecting what we're doing. They don't want to go to 1, except it looks like they're thinking about it. They go to 1, which is a bad choice against Vynnset. Don't want to banish that Widespread Annihilation, that's for sure. We're going to send another 5 their way. Please give us at least 1 card in those 2 equipment pieces, please. We'll see. Ooh, they have not... That's why they were trying to keep cards back. They don't have a very good blocking turn or hand. So they give us 2 cards and an equipment piece. They have 1 piece, which is Snatch. Do we want to keep them off the draw? Probably. This hand doesn't really do much. Yeah, this hand is really unfortunate. So we kind of have to, like, banish an Annihilation. No, we have to banish the Oblivion and then pay for the Wraith. It'll come in for 1 and 6 and demand either 3 or 4 cards from them. We do allow them to draw here, though. We don't really have a choice. This hand is, like, pretty awkward. So we let this hit. They get an Arsenal. We just hope it's not a D-React, because that's a bit of a punish, but I don't think they play that many D-Reacts. So banish Oblivion, play this out. 1 and 6 is still quite awkward, especially... I know Aurora does play a non-zero amount of 2 blocks, so... Well, they have to respect this rune chant, so they're going to pitch. They're going to give us 1 card at least. They're probably going to give us 2 more unless they have a D-react. No, even if they have a D-react, they have to give us 2 more cards. So A being 1, finally they're respecting our arcane just out of pure necessity. We'll see if they have to give us, 2 and the equipment, which is good for us. So they have 1 card in hand, 1 in arsenal. We'll see what we allowed them to draw in arsenal, but again, we didn't have a choice. Right now we're just trying to preserve life and find our unpreventable, which we just drew into. No banished target, but that's fine. We do have a sink below that we can try and sink and find one, but even just Beseech the Demigod Flail gets us there. So this is just about life preservation. So pass, sink below, sinking this, reduce probably here. Or, we're holding on to the 4. Interesting. So we can banish call. That's good. So banish call. And then honestly, all we need is the call. So banish call. Present flail or do beseech flail. It doesn't matter. We could either present flail and then call before the rune chant resolves. Which looks like what we're choosing to do. So we take the damage to flail, which allows us to play call at instant speed. Vynnset trigger take. Makes this rune chant unpreventable. We got to call before the rune chant resolves to make it unpreventable. And then chances are they are going to perish. Unless they have life gain of some sort. So they're going to banish a card. Then they have to deal with this unpreventable discard. Prevent the next 2 damage that would be dealt. Doesn't matter. This damage is unpreventable. Good game to you, sir. Well played. The name of the game against Aurora, again, we were able to keep them off of their burn-up. We were able to keep them off of their Channel Lightning Valley turns, which is most important. So that's definitely something to keep in mind when you're into Aurora. I think we identified like 1 turn where we might have played that a little bit differently, a little more efficient. But either way, thank you so much for watching. Thank you again for your support. Be sure to subscribe if you aren't already. I'll do some more of this short form gameplay moving forward for sure. But yeah, thank you so much everybody for watching, and we'll chat real soon, okay? Cheers, everybody.